Hi everyone, my name is Brian Lamb and I am the co-founder of a company called Swivl. And our mission is to unleash qualities in our students and teachers that help them make big leaps. So those of you that have heard of us, you're probably familiar with our first product. It's called the Swivl Robot. It's actually now a suite of software and hardware that we use to help teachers do video observations in classrooms. And it's grown to over 30,000 schools around the world. Something we're very proud of and is continuing to grow year over year. But as a business, about 6 months ago, we decided to shift our focus from a software standpoint in a new direction into something that we're starting to think of as a startup within a startup. So there's an app that we launched a year ago at this event called Recap. And it was our first attempt to bring video into different kinds of applications in short formats. So Swivl was all about really long format, 20-minute videos of what teachers are doing. Recap was about short 30-second video clips of students answering questions. We went into formative assessment. In that year, it was a bit of an experiment. We had a great response. We had nearly 1 million users sign up to the platform, nearly 2 million responses. We learned a ton through that process. But what was really interesting about it is it got us into a new space, which is really questions in education, which we started to realize is a major part of education at every level and a really interesting subject. So we started to get into research around how teachers use inquiry to lead instruction. And why they use inquiry to lead instruction, which also led us to the science of curiosity, which we dug into. And we started to understand how curiosity is actually the third pillar of how students learn, in addition to intelligence and effort applied to learning. And what we wanted to do was kind of step back and say, how do we actually focus on that and actually turn the platform 180 degrees again and look at how do we use student questions to drive that forward. So we launched a week ago, Recap 2.0. We sync with this event year over year pretty much, which we are now calling a Q&A platform. And it's really aimed specifically at igniting curiosity to learn. Let me take you on a tour through some of the things we just launched. So the first thing we found is there's actually not a great software offering for managing student questions in the classroom. While there's lots of software out there, there isn't a great way to do it. And our research said that there's two things that are really essential to managing student questions. One is when you get a great question, you need to be able to share it and dialogue it with everybody. But the second one that was less obvious, but I think is becoming more obvious to us now, is you need a private place to gather them, because students get self-conscious in class. They feel like they're being judged by their peers, and so they need a place to be able to air that question to teachers, talk to them about it first, and then start driving that dialogue. So we built that platform. The second thing, which is my favorite part of this new solution, is called the journey. It's the teacher's response to a question that's based on the research of how curiosity works. And what it's comprised of is a title that's matched to the question that was posed by the student, a 60-second time-limited video that is really only for one purpose, and that's to answer the question of why you should learn something about this question and nothing else. And then a set of links to other content and experiences that the teacher can curate in kind of a playlist. We call it the path. You can go to YouTube, you can go to OERs, you can go to your Nearpod lesson, or really any kind of document that you're looking to direct students' attention to in a flow of activity after you've inspired their curiosity using this 60-second video. On top of all that, what we decided to do was create a public-facing side of the platform that we call Discover, where teachers share their journeys with each other, build on each other's journeys, and then actually have the ability to take other teachers' journeys and assign them to their own students' questions or to launch activities with. And then we built it where it actually is deeply embedded within that question queue that I started with, where you can actually now match, using not only title but student interests, journeys that inspire students' curiosity to learn right within the queue of how you're managing student questions, and make it really easy for a teacher to manage 30 questions at a time and create personalized journeys for each one of them. And where it gets really interesting is we're also going to open those up beyond just the platform and actually build them into search engines so that they're discoverable by Google and whatever other search engine you prefer to use, kind of like Quora. And our thinking in doing that is that we can provide an ignition and a curiosity to learn for everybody when they're looking to learn something and they search something on Google. And give them that kind of rallying force that a teacher or an educator or a thought leader can bring to inspire them to learn. And so because of that, our mission for this platform as we've relaunched it is really to ignite anyone's curiosity to learn, to bring educators to the forefront of educating our society around the key issues of our day and discovering things beyond just what's at surface level. So instead of seeing a video from Neil deGrasse Tyson saying, we really need to believe in science and invest in science, he can also direct you to the 5 research studies on climate change that he's really passionate about so you can actually get into the subject. And that's our goal. Recap. Thank you.